So with shin splints, I mean, it doesn't tend to be, it's this massive topic. There's so many things that can cause pain within the shins, and so many different diagnoses there can be, so many different problems. They can both be very mild, they could be very severe. In my experience, you don't tend to get something that starts kind of one day and then suddenly that's it, and you have to have all that sort of initial treatment. We'd still do it, but it's not the same as having a hamstring strain where you know that's when I did it, that's the pain I got, and that, you know, and that's when I did my injury. Whereas with shin splints, it tends to be a bit more gradual. It tends to be building up until it's sort of, you can almost see it festering underneath, and then eventually it gets to the stage where actually the pain starts or becomes too much. Quite often people are going on for weeks and weeks and weeks with a little bit of pain within their shins and don't think much about it. So that's why it's quite hard with shin splints, I think. And shin, as I say, the whole term shin splints obviously is as I said, very broad. It's not often actually, it is actually, as it sounds, splints within the bone itself. Often it's the muscles around it that are causing problems, and the kind of compartments that they sit in, which rather than actually the bone itself. So in terms of initial treatment, as soon as you get it, you want to stop. Now, most people don't. As I say, when physios tend to see it, we tend to see it at a bit more of a chronic stage, sorry, rather than acute. So that's why as soon as you do feel it, you do need to stop. The usual thing, you need to ice it up as much as you can, you need to rest it. Compression, so you can use, I mean, even just normal socks will do the compression side of things. And that's your initial treatment for the first kind of week. But as I said, it's very rare that you would get into that situation because most people have had some form of pain for a period of time. And the main thing for me, really, rather than actually the treatment side of it, is you have to get to what's actually, what the problem is, what is causing the pain, and that can be very difficult in shin splints. And secondly, what was causing the pain in the first place, and that, you know, so that's I think you've got to look at without a doubt. But in terms of treatment wise, that's your initial stage. And from there on, it will depend what the diagnosis is, will depend what the treatment you do. So if it's a biomechanical issue, you might do a little bit of massage. So if we're looking at how somebody runs or somebody walks or what their shoes are like or something like that, then when you're actually treating the injury, if it's a muscle, for example, then yes, you would use massage and you would use some of your electrotherapy if there was an injury there. Whereas if it's something else in terms of actually how they're walking and something like that, you would actually change and you do exercises to strengthen muscles and maybe stretch other muscles. So I think the treatment side of it for shin splints is quite difficult, I think, to put into one box. I think you still do initial thing. I think the biggest thing more than anything is reducing your activity level. Usually it is related to doing too much. So it's important that as soon as you get the injury, you do the initial rice treatment. But the main thing is a part of that is actually coming away from the activity that you're trying to do to allow the injury to settle down.